Hello, sleepy friends. Welcome to your sleep story. Tonight, we're leaving behind the demands of the world and stepping into a place of shelter and warmth. Imagine yourself driving along a winding mountain road as evening falls. The first drops of rain beginning to spatter against your windshield. You've been traveling for hours, and ahead, nestled in a valley between forested hills, you see it, a lodge, warm lights glowing in its windows, smoke rising from its chimney, calling you in from the gathering storm. This is where you'll spend the night, a cozy refuge where the rain drums softly on the roof, where a fire crackles in the stone hearth, where you can finally rest. Knowing the storm outside only makes the warmth inside feel deeper. Tonight's story is about arriving at this peaceful haven, about settling into its comfort, about listening to the rain as it falls, and letting that ancient rhythm carry you into the deepest, most restful sleep. It's about being safe while the world outside grows wild, about the peace that comes from shelter, from warmth, from surrender to the storm's lullaby. So wherever you are right now, in your bed, in your favorite corner of home, or simply letting your shoulders drop and your breath slow, take a deep breath in and release it gently. Feel yourself turning off that mountain road, pulling into the gravel drive, seeing the lodge lights grow brighter through the rain. Feel yourself coming home, coming to rest, coming to this place where sleep waits for you like an old friend. If you enjoy these peaceful journeys, you're welcome to like, comment, or share this story with someone who might need shelter from their own storms tonight. It helps others find their way here, to this warm valley lodge, with you. For now, let the world fade away. Let the rain begin to fall, and let this stormy night carry you gently, deeply, peacefully into sleep. The windshield wipers beat a steady rhythm, back and forth, clearing away the rain that's been falling for the last 20 miles. The road winds through the mountains, narrow and dark, your headlights catching the wet pavement, the white lines, the occasional reflective marker that guides you forward. You're tired, bone tired, the kind of tired that comes from traveling too long, from leaving too early, from needing to get away. But you're almost there now. You can feel it. The GPS shows just 2 more miles, 2 more curves in this mountain road, and then rest. The rain is falling harder now, drumming on the roof of your car, streaming down the windows in rivulets that catch the light. It's the kind of rain that makes you grateful for shelter, that makes you think of warm fires and dry clothes and the simple blessing of being inside. The road dips down into a valley, and suddenly the trees open up. You see lights ahead, warm and golden, glowing through the rain like beacons. Your heart lifts. There it is, the lodge, exactly as it looked in the photos, but somehow more real, more welcoming. A long, low building of timber and stone, windows blazing with light, smoke rising from a chimney to disappear into the rainy darkness above. You turn off the main road, onto a gravel drive, hearing the crunch of stones beneath your tires, feeling the car slow, steady. Approaching this haven you've been imagining for hours. The parking area is small, just a dozen spaces, and you pull into one near the entrance, cutting the engine, sitting for just a moment in the sudden silence. The rain hammers on the roof, louder now, without the engine noise to compete with it. You can hear it hitting the hood, the windshield running off in streams. The wipers have stopped, and the glass begins to blur immediately with water, turning the lodge lights into soft halos, impressionist paintings of warmth. You take a deep breath, then another, gathering yourself, preparing to make the dash from car to door. You grab your overnight bag from the passenger seat, your jacket from the back, and open the door. The sound of rain intensifies immediately, no longer filtered through metal and glass, but direct, immediate, real. Cold drops hit your face, your hands. You duck your head and move quickly, your feet splashing through puddles you can't see in the darkness, heading for the light, for the covered porch, for shelter. The porch roof cuts off the rain abruptly, and you stand there for a moment, catching your breath, feeling the water drip from your hair, your jacket. You're not soaked, just dampened, speckled with rain. You set down your bag and turn to look back at the parking area, at your car already streaming with water, at the dark valley beyond. The rain is a curtain, grey and silver in the porch light, beautiful in its intensity, hypnotic in its constancy. But you're cold now, and the door is right there. Heavy wood with iron hinges and a brass handle worn smooth by countless hands. You turn it, push, and step inside, into warmth, into light, into the rich smell of wood smoke and pine and something baking, maybe bread, maybe cookies, something that makes your stomach wake up and remember it's been hours since you ate. The entrance hall is small and rustic, wood-panelled walls hung with old black and white photographs of the mountains, the valley, the lodge itself in earlier decades. A coat rack stands by the door, already heavy with rain jackets and dripping umbrellas. You add your jacket to the collection, feeling immediately lighter, warmer, more at ease. To your left, a doorway opens into what looks like a common room. You can see the edge of a stone fireplace, chairs, people sitting quietly. To your right, a small reception desk, and behind it, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and silver hair pulled back in a loose bun. She looks up as you approach, and her smile is genuine, welcoming, the smile of someone who knows exactly what you need. "You made it," she says, her voice warm and slightly husky. "That's quite a storm rolling in. You must be exhausted." She pulls out a registration book, the old-fashioned kind, handwritten entries going back months. "We've been expecting you. I have your room all ready." You go through the formalities, signing in, providing a credit card, answering her gentle questions about your drive, your plans for tomorrow. But her manner is efficient, respectful of your tiredness. She doesn't make you linger with small talk when you clearly need rest. Within minutes, she's handing you an actual key, not a card, a real brass key attached to a wooden tag with your room number carved into it. Room 7, upstairs, overlooking the valley. "Breakfast is from 7 to 9 in the dining room," she says, gesturing vaguely behind her. "But there's no pressure. Sleep as long as you need. The storm's supposed to last through tomorrow, so it's a perfect night to just rest." She says this last word with emphasis, as if she knows, as if she understands that rest is exactly what you came here for. She leads you through the common room, and you get your first real look at it. It's everything you hoped for. A massive stone fireplace dominates one wall. a real wood fire burning behind a screen, casting dancing shadows across the room. Deep leather chairs and worn sofas are arranged in conversational clusters, side tables holding lamps with amber shades that glow softly. Bookshelves line another wall, packed with old hardcovers and dog-eared paperbacks. A few other guests are scattered around, some reading, one couple playing cards, another simply staring into the fire. Everyone looks peaceful, settled, as if they've been here for days. You follow the woman to a staircase at the far end of the room. Wooden steps that creak slightly under your weight. A runner of deep red carpet runs up the center, worn thin in places, giving the stairs character, history. The banister is smooth wood, cool under your hand. You climb slowly, feeling your legs, feeling the fatigue of the long drive settling into your muscles. The upstairs hallway is narrow and dim, lit by wall sconces that cast pools of yellow light every few feet. The floorboards creak, the building speaks, settling sounds, comfortable sounds, the sounds of an old structure that's weathered many storms. Your guide stops at a door marked with a brass number, 7, unlocks it, and pushes it open, reaching inside to flip on a light. "Here we are," she says, stepping aside to let you enter. "The bathroom's just through there. Extra blankets in the closet if you need them. And if you want anything at all, just pick up the phone and dial 0. I'll be downstairs until 11. You thank her, and she nods, pats your shoulder gently, and leaves, her footsteps receding down the hall, down the stairs, fading into the sounds of the lodge. You step inside and close the door behind you, leaning against it for a moment. Finally alone. Finally here. The room is small, but perfect. A double bed with an iron frame and a thick quilt in shades of cream and burgundy. A nightstand with a reading lamp. A dresser with a mirror. A single armchair by the window, upholstered in faded floral fabric. And the window itself, large, with deep sills, rain streaming down the glass, blurring the view of the valley beyond into darkness and suggestions of trees. You drop your bag on the floor and walk to the window, pressing your forehead against the cool glass. The rain is mesmerizing up close, individual drops racing each other down the pane, merging, splitting, disappearing. Beyond the glass, you can see nothing but darkness and rain. But you know the valley is there, the mountains, the forest, all of it hidden now behind this veil of water, all of it sleeping, waiting for morning. You pull the curtains partway closed, leaving just enough gap to see out, to watch the rain. Then you unzip your bag and pull out what you need: comfortable clothes, toiletries, a book you probably won't read. You change quickly, shedding your travel clothes, pulling on soft cotton pants and a warm sweater. The air in the room is cool, not cold, but cool enough to make warmth feel good, feel earned. The bathroom is tiny but charming. White subway tiles, an old clawfoot tub, a pedestal sink with separate taps for hot and cold. You wash your face, brush your teeth, run your fingers through your hair, meeting your own eyes in the mirror. You look tired, but not unhappy, not stressed, just ready to let go, ready to rest back in the bedroom. You turn off the overhead light, leaving only the bedside lamp glowing. The room becomes instantly cozier, more intimate. The rain sounds louder now somehow, or maybe you're just listening more carefully. It's a full sound, complex, like white noise but more organic, more alive. You can hear it hitting the roof above, the window beside you, the ground somewhere below, layers of rain, rain near and far, rain everywhere. You should go downstairs. You think, should get something to eat, should sit by that fire for a while. But your body is making other suggestions. Your body is pulling you toward the bed, toward the thick quilt, toward horizontal. And who are you to argue? Food can wait. The fire will be there tomorrow, right now, in this moment. What you need is just this. This room, this rain, this perfect, simple shelter. You turn back the quilt and the blankets beneath it, revealing crisp white sheets that smell faintly of lavender. You slide between them, feeling their coolness against your skin, feeling your body relax into the mattress. The pillow is soft, supporting your head perfectly. You reach over and turn off the lamp, and darkness fills the room. Not complete darkness. There's the faint glow from the window, the ambient light of the rainy night, enough to see shapes, enough to see the rain still streaming down the glass. You lie there, breathing slowly, listening to the storm, feeling the building around you, solid, protective, keeping you dry, keeping you safe. This room, this bed, this moment, it's exactly what you needed. And tomorrow, or in the hour, or whenever you wake, there will be time for everything else. Time for the common room, for the fire, for food and warmth, and the company of strangers. But now, right now, there's only this, the rain, the darkness, the soft bed, the deep, deep relief of arrival. You wake slowly, gradually, becoming aware first of the sound, that constant drumming, and then remembering the lodge, the storm. You open your eyes to dim light. The room is darker than when you fell asleep. True night has arrived, but it's not late, just fully dark. You check your phone on the nightstand, 8:30. You slept for nearly an hour. A deep, dreamless descent, and you feel better for it, clearer, more present. Your stomach reminds you that you haven't eaten, and suddenly the thought of food is appealing, more than appealing, necessary. You sit up slowly, running your hands through your hair. The room is cooler now, and you pull on thick socks before standing. The floorboards are cold beneath your feet, even through the wool. You add a cardigan over your sweater, pull it close around you, and open the door to the hallway. The building is quiet, or seems quiet at first, but as you stand there, you begin to hear it, the creaks and sighs of old timber, the sound of rain on the roof, muffled voices from downstairs, the distant clatter of dishes. The lodge is alive, breathing, settling into its evening rhythm. You pull the door closed behind you and walk down the hallway, your hand trailing along the wall, your footsteps barely audible on the worn carpet runner. The staircase creaks under your weight, announcing your descent. But it's a friendly sound, not intrusive. Just the building acknowledging your presence. The common room opens before you as you reach the bottom step, and it's more populated now than when you arrived. More chairs are occupied, more lamps are lit. The fire has been built up, larger, crackling energetically behind its screen, casting the whole room in warm, flickering light. You stand at the edge of the room for a moment, taking it in. A man in his 70s sits near the fire with a newspaper, reading glasses perched on his nose. A younger woman curls in a window seat, a book open on her lap. But she's staring out at the rain instead of reading. The couple you saw earlier are still playing cards. Their game has clearly been going on for hours, their movements comfortable and practiced. In the far corner, near the bookshelves, a middle-aged man types quietly on a laptop, his face lit by its glow. No one looks up as you enter, and that feels right somehow. Everyone here is lost in their own quiet pursuits, their own small pockets of peace. The lodge isn't about socializing, it's about coexisting, about sharing space without demands, without expectations. You spot another doorway beyond the fire, light spilling from it, and the smell of food draws you forward. The dining room is smaller than the common room, just 4 tables with checked tablecloths, simple wooden chairs. A sideboard along one wall holds the remains of dinner, covered dishes keeping things warm. A handwritten sign says, "Help yourself," on a system for payment. And you do, filling a plate with soup that steams in the cool air, crusty bread, a small salad, simple food, good food. You carry your plate back to the common room, looking for a place to settle. There, an armchair near the fire, but not too close, positioned so you can see both the flames and the rain-streaked windows beyond. You sink into it, and it's like being embraced. Deep, soft leather that's molded itself to thousands of bodies over the years. It accepts you, holds you, and you realize this might be the most comfortable chair you've ever sat in. The soup is chicken and vegetable, rich broth, tender chunks of carrot and potato. It warms you from the inside out. You eat slowly, savoring each bite, watching the fire as you do. The flames dance and curl, blue at the base, orange and yellow above, occasionally spitting small sparks that die against the screen. The wood shifts and settles, sending up showers of embers that float briefly before fading. It's endlessly mesmerizing, this fire, this ancient human comfort. When your plate is empty, you set it aside on a small table, meaning to take it back to the kitchen, but not quite yet, not quite ready to move. The chair has claimed you, or you've claimed it, and you settle deeper, pulling your feet up beneath you, wrapping your cardigan tighter, feeling the warmth of the fire on your face, hearing the rain on the roof above, the windows around you, the world beyond the walls. The room is so quiet despite the people in it. Just the occasional turn of a newspaper page, the soft tap of laptop keys, the whisper of cards being shuffled and dealt, and beneath it all, woven through it all, the rain, constant, patient, infinite. It's not a violent storm, no thunder, no lightning, just rain, steady and thorough, the kind that will last all night, maybe all tomorrow, the kind that settles in and makes no apologies for staying. You let your head rest against the high back of the chair, your eyes half closed, watching the fire through your lashes. The flames blur and sharpen, blur and sharpen. Your breathing has synchronized with the crackle of the wood, slow and steady. You feel your shoulders dropping, your jaw unclenching, your whole body remembering what it means to truly relax. A log in the fire breaks apart, collapsing into the bed of coals, and the firekeeper, silver-haired woman from reception, appears from somewhere with a new piece of wood. She places it carefully, expertly, and the flames accept it, begin their work of transformation. She catches your eye and smiles. A small knowing smile, then disappears again into whatever back room she emerged from. The lodge takes care of itself, takes care of you. All you have to do is sit here and let it. The building creaks above you, a long, slow groan of timber settling. The wind must be picking up outside, though you can barely hear it over the rain. Just occasionally, a gust that makes the windows rattle softly in their frames, that sends a draft across the room. Cool air that makes the fire's warmth even more precious, even more necessary. The man with the newspaper folds it carefully and stands, stretching, arching his back. He nods to the room in general, to no one in particular, and heads for the stairs. His footsteps fade away above. A door closes somewhere, and the room feels even quieter somehow, more intimate, as if the lodge is slowly gathering itself inward, preparing for deep night, for the storm's long duration. You close your eyes completely now, just listening. The card players murmur something to each other, too quiet to make out the words, just the sound of companionship, of easy, familiar comfort. The woman in the window seat turns a page, or maybe she's closing her book. You hear the soft thump of it settling. The laptop keys continue their irregular rhythm. Start, stop, start again. Someone's working, but even that feels peaceful here. Not urgent, not stressful, just occupation, just something to do with the hands while the mind rests. The fire pops loudly, and your eyes open. A spark has made it through the screen somehow, a tiny orange point of light that lands on the stone hearth and glows there for a moment before dying. You watch the spot where it was, imagining you can still see it, still see that brief bright life, and then you look back at the fire, at the source, at the eternal becoming of flame and wood and heat and light. The rain intensifies suddenly, a wave of it crossing the roof, and everyone in the room seems to pause, to listen, to acknowledge this surge in the storm. And then it passes, settling back to its steady rhythm, and everyone returns to what they were doing, as if nothing happened, as if the storm is just another presence in the room, another guest, neither welcomed nor unwelcome, simply here. You realize you could sit in this chair all night, could watch this fire until it burns down to nothing, could listen to this rain until morning light, and maybe you will, or maybe in an hour you'll climb those creaking stairs again, return to your small, perfect room, slip back between those cool lavender sheets. But that's later. That's the future, and the future can wait. Right now, there's only this chair, this fire, this rain, this warmth, this peace, this lodge holding you safe while the storm does its work outside, washing the world, refreshing the earth, playing its ancient song against roof and window and stone. You breathe in, slowly, deeply, smelling wood smoke and old books and the faint scent of the soup still warming in the other room. You breathe out, even more slowly, feeling your body sink heavier into the chair, feeling yourself becoming part of this place, part of this moment, part of this rainy night in the valley, and the fire burns on, and the rain falls on, and you rest, finally, completely, here. The common room has grown quieter still. The card players have gone up to bed, their game abandoned mid-hand, cards still spread on the small table between empty chairs. The woman from the window seat has disappeared too, though you didn't notice her leave. The man with the laptop closed it some time ago, and now he sits in semi-darkness in his corner, just thinking, or maybe sleeping with his eyes open, just being. You're one of the last ones down here now. You and a handful of others who aren't quite ready to surrender the day, who want to wring every last moment of peace from this evening, from this fire, from this storm. The firekeeper has dimmed some of the lamps. The room is darker now, more intimate, lit primarily by the fire itself and the pale glow from the Rain Street windows. And the rain has found its true voice now. This is what it was building toward, what those earlier hours were preparing for. It's not violent, there's still no thunder, no lightning, but it's full, complete. The storm has arrived in its entirety, and it's settling in for the long night. You can hear it everywhere, on every surface. Rain on the roof above you like 1,000 fingers drumming. Rain on the windows like rice thrown at a wedding. Rain in the gutters running away in streams. Rain on the gravel drive, on the cars in the parking area, on the valley floor, on the trees, on the mountains. Rain everywhere, drowning the world in sound. You shift in your chair, pulling your legs up, wrapping your arms around your knees, making yourself small and contained. The fire has burned lower, the flames shorter, more contemplative, but the bed of coals beneath glows intensely, pulsing with deep red and orange light, radiating heat that you can feel on your shins, your face. You watch the coals breathe, expanding, contracting, alive with their slow combustion. The building responds to the storm. You can hear it more clearly now in the increased quiet. The timber beams above you creak and groan, adjusting, settling under the weight of water. The windows rattle softly in their frames when the wind gusts. The walls themselves seem to speak, old wood expanding and contracting with temperature and moisture, telling stories in a language of creaks and sighs. The lodge is old. You can feel that. Decades old, maybe a century, and it's weathered storms like this countless times. It knows what to do, how to stand, how to shelter, how to endure. You close your eyes and just listen. Really listen, trying to separate the sounds, to hear each individual voice in the storm's chorus. There, that's the main roof. The rain hitting the shingles directly overhead, a high sustained note. And there, that's the porch roof, a slightly different pitch, slightly more irregular, and that deep rushing sound. That's the gutters, overwhelmed, overflowing, water cascading down the sides of the building, and underneath it all, so faint you might be imagining it, the sound of the creek at the bottom of the valley, swollen now, running fast and high, adding its voice to the symphony. The wind picks up, and you hear it for the first time as a distinct sound, rather than just a force. It moves through the valley with a low moan, pushing against the lodge, testing it, finding the corners and edges, whistling slightly through some gap you can't see, some crack around a window or door. The trees outside sway and thrash. You can hear branches moving, leaves rustling. Though you can't see any of it through the darkness and rain, you can only imagine it, the forest being tossed, bent, tested, but not broken, never broken, just dancing, responding to the wind's demands with flexible strength. A particularly strong gust hits, and the whole building seems to shift slightly, to lean into the wind like a living thing. The fire flickers, disturbed by some draft, and then steadies again. The windows rattle more insistently. The lamp nearest you swings slightly on its chain, casting moving shadows across the walls. And then the gust passes, and everything settles, and the rain resumes its steady pattern, its patient drumming, its infinite descent. You open your eyes and look around the room. The man in the corner has definitely fallen asleep now, his head tilted back, mouth slightly open, chest rising and falling slowly. The firekeeper is gone, trusting the guest to tend the fire if needed, to turn off the lamps when they leave, to take care of this shared space. The only other person still awake is someone you hadn't noticed before, an older woman sitting very still in a chair near the bookshelves, so still she might be part of the furniture. She's not reading, not doing anything, just sitting, hands folded in her lap, face peaceful, listening to the rain just as you are. Your eyes meet across the room, and she smiles slightly, a small acknowledgement of shared experience, of two people awake while the world sleeps, two people choosing to witness the storm rather than hide from it. You smile back, and then you both return to your listening, your watching. No need for words, no need for anything but this presence, this attention. The fire crackles loudly, and a log breaks apart, collapsing into the coals with a shower of sparks. The flames surge briefly, reaching upward, then settle back down, lower than before. The fire is dying, gradually, gracefully, burning itself out, and you feel no need to add more wood. It served its purpose, given its warmth. And now it's time to let it rest. Let it become ash. Let the storm sounds take center stage without competition. And they do. The rain seems even louder now, without the fire's crackle to distract from it. You can hear more layers, more complexity. Rain close and rain far away. Rain on hard surfaces and rain on soft. Rain in the moment and rain accumulating, building into puddles, into streams, into a general saturation of earth and air. The world outside is more water than not now. The boundaries between rain and air and ground dissolving, everything becoming one wet whole. You think about all the other people in the lodge, up in their rooms, lying in their beds, listening to this same rain, hearing it on their windows, on the roof above their heads, each person in their own small room, their own small shelter. But all of you connected by this storm, all of you held by these same walls, this same roof, all of you dry and safe while outside the world washes itself clean. There's something deeply comforting about that, about knowing you're not alone even though you're alone, about being part of a community of sleepers, of listeners, of storm witnesses, you and the woman across the room and the sleeping man in the corner and all the people upstairs and the firekeeper wherever she is, all of you here together, sharing this night, sharing this rain, sharing this ancient experience of shelter during a storm. The wind gusts again, stronger this time, and you hear something outside, a crash, maybe a branch falling, maybe something blown over in the parking area. The sound is muffled by distance and rain, not alarming, just notable. A reminder that the storm has power, has force, has the ability to move things, to change things, But the lodge stands firm, doesn't shudder, doesn't shake, just absorbs the wind and lets it pass, just continues being what it is, solid, reliable, unmovable. The rain changes rhythm suddenly, becoming heavier, each drop larger, hitting harder. The sound on the roof intensifies, becomes almost overwhelming, a roar of water. You can hear it running in sheets down the windows. You can almost feel the weight of it. The sheer volume of water being pulled down by gravity, falling and falling and falling without end. This is the heart of the storm, the center, the deepest part, and it's magnificent, awesome in the old sense of the word, inspiring awe, inspiring respect for forces larger than yourself, larger than the human scale. And then, just as suddenly, it eases, not stopping but gentling, returning to its earlier steady rhythm. The storm is playing with intensity, rising and falling, breathing in and out. It has time, all the time in the world, no need to rush, no need to exhaust itself. It will rain all night and into tomorrow, patiently, thoroughly, doing its work at its own pace. You let your head fall back against the chair, your eyes drifting closed again. You're so relaxed now, so deeply at ease. Your body feels heavy, sinking into the leather, becoming part of the chair. Your breathing has slowed to almost nothing, just the shallowest exchange of air. Your heartbeat is slow, steady, quiet. You're not quite asleep, but not quite awake either. Somewhere in between, somewhere floating, held between the fire's dying warmth and the storm's cool song, between consciousness and dreams. The old woman across the room stands slowly, carefully, gathering herself. She moves toward the stairs, her footsteps barely audible on the thick carpet. She pauses at the bottom step and looks back, not at you specifically, just at the room, at the fire, at this space she's leaving. And then she climbs, one slow step at a time, and disappears into the upper darkness, going to her room, going to her bed, going to sleep with the rain for company. Now you're truly alone down here, you and the sleeping man who doesn't count, who's already gone to whatever place sleep takes us. The room feels even more intimate now, more private, as if it's yours alone, as if the lodge has given you this gift, this moment of complete solitude, complete peace. You could stay here all night, could watch the coals fade to darkness, could listen to the rain until dawn. And part of you never wants to leave this chair, this warmth, this perfect moment. But another part of you is calling, a deeper part, the part that knows what you really need. And what you need is your bed, your room, your window with the rain streaming down it, your quilts and pillows and the deep sleep that's waiting there. The common room has served its purpose, has given you its comfort, its fire, its companionship of strangers. But now it's time to climb those stairs, time to surrender completely, time to let the rain carry you all the way down into dreams. You open your eyes one last time, looking at the fire, at the few small flames still dancing among the coals. Thank you, you think, though you're not sure what you're thanking. The fire, the lodge, the storm, everything, all of it. You push yourself up slowly, your body stiff from sitting, but pleasantly so. The stiffness of deep relaxation rather than tension. You stretch, feeling your spine lengthen, your shoulders open, and then you turn toward the stairs, toward your room, towards sleep, leaving the fire to tend itself, leaving the storm to sing itself out, leaving this perfect night to unfold exactly as it needs to, with or without your witness. The stairs creak under your weight, each step announcing your ascent, but softly, respectfully, as if the building understands it's late, that others are sleeping. That quiet is called for now. You climb slowly, your hand on the smooth banister, your feet finding the center of each step where the carpet is most worn, where countless others have climbed before you, heading toward rest, toward dreams, toward the same destination you're seeking now. The upstairs hallway is darker than you remember, just a single light still burning at the far end, casting long shadows between the doors. Your room is halfway down, number 7, and you walk toward it quietly, past the other doors, behind which other guests are already sleeping, already surrendered to the night. You can hear it as you pass. The silence that's not quite silence. The sound of people breathing, shifting in their beds. The intimate sounds of sleep happening behind closed doors. Your key turns smoothly in the lock, and you slip inside, closing the door behind you with a soft click. The room is cold now. You can feel it immediately. The fire's warmth doesn't reach up here, and the storm has pulled all the heat from the air. But that's all right. That's perfect, actually, because the bed will be warm, the quilts will be heavy, and the contrast between cold air and warm covers is part of what makes sleep so delicious, so irresistible. You don't turn on the overhead light, just the small lamp on the nightstand, letting your eyes adjust to the dimness. The room looks different at night, smaller somehow, more cave-like, more like a nest. The window draws your attention immediately, rain streaming down the glass, visible in the faint light from outside, some security light in the parking area, or maybe just the ambient glow of the storm itself. You walk to it, stand close, watching the water race down in rivulets, merging and splitting, creating temporary rivers that disappear at the sill. Beyond the glass, you can see nothing, just darkness and rain, the valley invisible, the mountains invisible, the whole world reduced to this, water and night and the sound of the storm. You press your hand against the glass, feeling its coolness, feeling the vibration of rain hitting the other side. You're so close to the storm here, just this thin barrier of glass between you and the weather, between shelter and exposure. It makes you feel both vulnerable and safe at the same time, aware of how little separates you from the elements, but trusting that this little is enough. You pull the curtains closed, leaving just a small gap, just enough to see out, to maintain that connection to the storm. Then you turn to the practical matters of preparing for sleep. The room is cold enough that you move quickly, pulling on an extra layer, thick socks, anything to keep warm until you can get under the covers. You brush your teeth in the tiny bathroom, wash your face with cold water that makes you gasp, pat yourself dry with a towel that smells like lavender and sunshine, like it was hung outside to dry on some perfect summer day weeks ago. Back in the bedroom, you turn down the bed, pulling back the heavy quilt, the wool blanket beneath it, the top sheet, revealing that clean white expanse, those crisp linens waiting for you. You slide between them, and the cold is shocking, delicious. your body heat immediately beginning to warm the small space around you, creating a pocket of warmth that will expand gradually, slowly, until the whole bed is a nest of comfort. You reach over and turn off the lamp, and darkness fills the room. Not complete darkness. Your eyes adjust, and you can see the window, the gap in the curtains, the faint light from outside, and the rain, always the rain, visible as streaks of lighter grey against the dark glass. Constant, mesmerizing, infinite. You lie on your back, the quilts pulled up to your chin, feeling their weight, their substance, pressing down on you like a gentle hand, like gravity itself, holding you in place, holding you safe. The pillow cradles your head, and you turn slightly, finding that perfect position, that alignment of neck and spine that signals to your body that, yes, this is it. This is the position for sleep. The rain is so loud up here, directly overhead, just a layer of wood and shingles between you and the sky, between you and the storm. You can hear each individual drop, or at least it feels that way, though, of course, there are millions of them. Billions, too many to count or distinguish. But still, it feels intimate, personal, as if the rain is falling just for you, just for this moment, just to sing you to sleep. And underneath the rain, you'll hear the building. The lodge is very much alive at night, more vocal than during the day. It creaks and groans, settles and shifts, adjusts to the weight of water on its roof, to the pressure of wind against its walls, to the changes in temperature and humidity. The floorboards in the hallway contract with the cold, making small popping sounds. The timber frame of the building expands in some places, contracts in others, speaking in a language of stress and release, of give and take, of flexibility that's kept it standing for decades through countless storms, just like this one. You feel safe here, completely, utterly safe. The storm can rage outside, can pour its rain and blow its wind, and you're untouchable, held in this small room, this small bed, protected by walls and roof and the solid craftsmanship of whoever built this place so long ago. They built it well, built it to last, built it to shelter people just like you, seeking refuge from whatever storms they were facing, literal or metaphorical. Your body is warming now, the bed becoming a cocoon of heat. You can feel your muscles relaxing, letting go of the last bits of tension they were holding. Your shoulders melt into the mattress. Your jaw unclenches completely. Your hands, curled into loose fists when you first lay down, open and rest palm up on either side of you, receiving, surrendering, accepting what this night has to offer. The rain seems to be getting heavier again, or maybe you're just more aware of it now, in the darkness, in the silence of the room. It drums on the roof with renewed intensity, each drop distinct, and then immediately merged with the next, creating a continuous roar that somehow contains all the individual sounds within it, like an orchestra, like a choir, each voice separate but part of the whole, each drop necessary, each one contributing to this immense collective sound. You think about water, about where this rain came from, evaporated from some ocean, carried on winds across continents, cooled and condensed in the upper atmosphere, gathered into clouds, and now falling, returning to earth, to streams and rivers that will carry it back to the sea. An endless cycle. water rising and falling forever, since the beginning of time, since before there were mountains or valleys or lodges or people to shelter in them. The rain falling on this roof tonight is the same rain that fell on dinosaurs, on ancient forests, on the first humans who ever looked up at a stormy sky. It's all the same water, cycling through, falling and rising, eternal. And you're part of that cycle. Your body is mostly water, water that you drink and sweat and breathe out, water that flows through you and then returns to the world. You're not separate from the rain. Not really. You're made of the same stuff, governed by the same forces, just temporarily organized into this shape, this consciousness, this person lying in this bed, listening to your own substance falling from the sky. The thought should be disturbing, maybe. This idea of impermanence, of being just a temporary arrangement of water and minerals and electricity. But it's not disturbing. It's comforting. You're part of something larger, something that was here before you and will be here after. The rain doesn't worry about tomorrow, doesn't stress about falling. It just falls, does what it was meant to do, and trusts that it will be caught, that it will flow where it needs to flow, that it will eventually rise again. Your breathing has become so slow, so shallow. You're barely breathing at all, just the smallest sips of air, just enough to keep your heart beating, to keep your blood flowing, to keep your brain ticking over at its lowest setting. You're not thinking anymore. Not really. Just drifting, floating on the sound of rain, on the feeling of warmth and weight and softness, on the edge between waking and sleeping, that thin, beautiful edge where anything seems possible, where dreams and reality blur together. The rain continues. It will rain all night. You know this somehow, can feel it. This isn't a storm that will blow through quickly. This is the patient kind, the thorough kind. It will still be raining when you wake, still drumming on the roof, still streaming down the windows. And that's perfect. That's exactly right, because tomorrow you'll wake slowly, naturally, no alarm, no urgency. You'll lie in this warm bed and listen to the rain and have nowhere to be, nothing to do. You'll go downstairs eventually, have breakfast, sit by the fire again, watch the storm. But that's tomorrow. That's the future. And the future doesn't exist yet. Right now, there's only this bed, this darkness, this rain, this perfect heavy warmth pulling you down, down into sleep, into dreams, into the deep rest your body has been craving for so long. The storm is a lullaby, ancient and new at the same time. It's singing you to sleep the way it's sung countless others to sleep, the way it will sing others to sleep long after you're gone. It's a song with no beginning and no end, just an eternal middle, just falling, just water returning to earth, just the world washing itself clean. Your eyes are closed now, have been closed for a while. You're not sure when they closed, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to see. You just need to listen, to feel, to let go, to trust. Trust the bed to hold you. Trust the lodge to shelter you. Trust the storm to do its work outside while you do your work inside. And your work is simple. Your work is just this: breathing, letting go, sinking, falling like the rain, falling into darkness, into warmth, into the deep, soft place where consciousness fades and dreams begin. The rain falls and falls and falls, and you fall with it, down through layers of awareness, down through thought and sensation, down through everything you are when you're awake, down to that essential core, that quiet center, that place where there's no name, no story, no past or future, just existence, just being, just the pure experience of rest. The lodge holds you, the valley cradles you, the mountains stand guard in the darkness, and the rain, the endless beautiful rain, washes everything away, all your worries, all your stress, all the accumulated debris of daily life washed away, carried downstream, dissolved into the general flow, leaving you clean, empty, new, ready for sleep, ready for dreams, ready for the deepest rest you've had in longer than you can remember. And so you sleep, finally, completely. The storm your guardian, the rain your lullaby, the lodge your shelter, and the night stretches ahead. Hours of darkness, hours of rain, hours of perfect undisturbed rest. Nothing can reach you here. Nothing can disturb you. You are safe. You are warm. You are exactly where you need to be. The rain falls, you sleep, and the world turns slowly beneath you, carrying you through the darkness, toward morning, toward light. But that's hours away still. Hours of this perfect peace, this perfect silence, this perfect surrender. And right now, right here, in this moment, in this bed, in this room, in this lodge in the valley, everything, absolutely everything, is exactly as it should be.